Good day, everyone. This is Teacher Jackie of V-Class TV. Welcome to another week-long lesson. This week, we will focus on comprehending informational texts. The objectives for this week are as follows. Welcome to day 1. Today, we are going to talk about fact versus opinion and check out the news structure. Let's begin by reviewing fact versus opinion. Get ready with your notebook and pen. Read the questions that follow. Choose the letter that corresponds to your answer. Write your answer on your notebook. Number 1. All the statements describe facts except Number 2. What is an opinion? Number 3. Which of the following is an opinion? Number 4. Which of the following information is a fact? Now, let us check your answer. Always remember that facts is a statement that can be verified or proven to be true through evidence, observation, or research. Opinion is a subjective statement that reflects a person's thoughts, feelings, or attitudes. Now, let's proceed to our lesson with some news. As of March 2025, the hottest issue is about the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte. Here's a photo of Philstar Global's news on Duterte's appearance in ICC. Let's talk about it. Who are the people in the photo? What is happening in the photo? Where does it take place? Why is Duterte facing a trial? How do you feel about this? Always remember, it is important to be aware of current events. Stay updated on what is happening in your community and watch the news on what is going on in and out of the country. Here are some news websites that can help you stay updated with the news. Inquirer.net, The Manila Times, Philippine News Agency. Don't miss out on information. News reports are factual recount that aims to inform the reader about a particular event. A news story is structured to give you factual information. Here are the parts of a news story. Headline is the main title of a news story, usually printed in large letters at the top of a story. Byline shows who wrote the story. Lead informs the reader of the most important aspects of the story. It contains the 5 W's and H. The 5 W stands for who, what, when, where, and why. H stands for how. Body of the news report gives more details and information about the news story. Now let us have an example. Here is a news article on the DOH report about child stunting in the Philippines. The article, written by Maria Teresa Montemayor, is entitled One of Four Kids Under 5 Years Old Stunted, DOH. The news was published in the Philippine News Agency website on September 4, 2023. Your teacher will give you a copy of this news so you can identify the parts. We will also read the news together. Based on the definitions given to you, identify the parts of the news. Write your answer on your notebook. Let's check your work. For number 1, the answer is headline. Number 2, byline. Number 3, lead. And number 4, body. If you have no idea about this topic, it is your assignment to read some local news tonight. Welcome to day 2. Today we are going to read more news and learn how to outline ideas. Here is a news article on the DOH report about child stunting in the Philippines. The article written by Maria Teresa Montemayor is entitled One of Four Kids Under 5 Years Old Stunted, DOH. The news was published in the Philippines News Agency website on September 4, 2023. Your teacher will give you a copy of this news for silent reading. We will also read this news together. Now let us answer the following questions. Number 1. Do you read or watch news? Number 2. What do you read or watch to be informed about current events? Number 3. What is the latest news you read or watched? Where did you read or saw it? Number 4. What important information did you get from the news story you read or watched? One of Four Kids Under 5 Years Old Stunted, DOH, by Maria Teresa Montemayor, September 4, 2023. Manila. The country remains to have high levels of child stunting, with 26.7% or 1 in every 4 children under 5 years old being shorter for their age, the Department of Health, DOH, said Monday. Speaking at the national launch for the Philippine Plan of Action for Nutrition 2023-2028 at the Manila Hotel, Health Secretary Teodoro Herbosa noted that 5% of children under 5 years old are wasting or underweight for a child's height. On the other hand, we also have the problem of obesity among children, although this is low at 3.9%. Pero habang tumatanda, nagiging teenager, tumataas yung ating obesity and overweight problem to as high as 14% or to 13% among the adolescent, he said. Among women, which is almost 50% of our population, the nutritional anemia problem is big. There's inadequate iron from what they eat. Maybe they're not eating green leafy vegetable, prime source of iron. We have a high prevalence of anemia among pregnant women as high as 23% and for reproductive age 10%. Through the PPAN, the government seeks to address all forms of malnutrition by making sure that nutritious food is available to our citizens. Second, limiting or taxing our unhealthy foods, high sugar content, high salt content, junk foods, Herbosa said. Now I have 4 questions for you to answer. You can read the news story again. Write your answers on your notebook and get ready to share your answer to the class. 1. What are the malnutrition problems of Filipino children according to the Health Secretary? 2. What is the malnutrition problem among women? 3. Which statement is an opinion? 4. How will the government solve the malnutrition problems? Let us see if you have answered the same way here. For number 1, the answer could be the malnutrition problems of Filipino children are underweight and obesity. For number 2, the malnutrition problem among women is anemia. For number 3, maybe they're not eating green leafy vegetable. That is an opinion. And for number 4, the government can solve the malnutrition problems by making sure that nutritious food is available to our citizens and by limiting or taxing our unhealthy foods, high sugar content, high salt content, junk foods. Now, let's figure out how ideas are outlined in this news story. Fill out the missing ideas on your own. You can read the news story again to help you answer it. Part 1 is about malnutrition problems of Filipino children. Part 2, Malnutrition Problems of Filipino Women. Part 3 is about government program to solve malnutrition problems. Let us see if your answers are correct. For letter B, the answer is obesity and overweight problem to as high as 14% or to 13% among the adolescents. Part 2, malnutrition problems of Filipino women, letter A, nutritional anemia problem among 50% of the women population. For letter C, anemia among women in their reproductive age as high as 10%. And then for part 3, letter A, making sure that nutritious food is available to our citizens. And letter B, limiting or taxing our unhealthy foods, high sugar content, high salt content junk foods. Outlining is a powerful tool for organizing and structuring ideas, writings, and projects. It involves creating a framework or a skeleton of your content, breaking it down into smaller, manageable parts, and arranging them in a logical order. Welcome to day 3. Today, let's read some more news and do some outlining. Here's a news story about a feeding program for elementary pupils in Cebu. The article written by John Ray Saavedra is entitled Feeding Program for 900K Cebu Learners Get More Support. The news was published in the Philippine News Agency website on December 26, 2023. The lead goes like this. Cebu City. The massive school feeding program of the Cebu provincial government received more support from the private sector, an official said on Tuesday. Before we proceed to the body of the news, there are some questions for you to answer. Each question is aimed at its corresponding paragraph. Write your answer on your notebook. You can do it with a partner. This time, a processed meat firm in the country committed to donating canned goods comprising corned beef and chicken luncheon meat for the learner beneficiaries of the Sugbo School Feeding Program. Governor Gwendolyn Garcia said that Pure Foods Hormel Company, Incorporated, a manufacturer of processed meat products and other food service items in the country, committed to help the program after seeing its benefit to the school children. San Miguel Food, the Information Office report said, pledged to give 7,000 kilos more of dressed chicken as the main ingredient of the porridge for the learners once the feeding program resumes after the New Year's celebration. The daily feeding program in all 1,594 public schools run by the Department of Education will be until June 2024, targeting to feed 878,699 kindergarten pupils to grade 12 students in the province. Finalize your answer now. You can rewrite your answer on a cartolina and present it to the class. Welcome to day 4. Today, let's focus on outlining. Complete the outline by organizing details from Activity 4, Reading More News. Part 1 is about school feeding program for learners in Cebu. Part 2 is about private companies and their promised support to the feeding program. A bonus answer is given for Part 1, letter B, targeting to feed 878,619 kindergarten pupils to grade 12 students in Cebu. Let us see if you got it right. Letter A for Part 1, the answer is daily feeding program in all 1,594 public schools run by the Department of Education in Cebu. Part 2, letter A, Pure Foods Hormel Company Incorporated, canned goods including corned beef and chicken luncheon meat. Letter B is San Miguel Food, 7,000 kilos of dressed chicken as the main ingredient of porridge. Now let us have a more practical use of outlining. Complete this exit slip to let your teacher know of your learning this week. 3 interesting things I learned this week, 2 things I want to read more about, 1 question I have. Now let me ask you, which task did you do well? And which task can you do better? Welcome to day 5. Today we are going to have our usual assessment. Here's a news story entitled Pinoy Kids Eating More Sugary, Salty, Fatty Food and written by Pia Lee Brago. The news was published in the Philippine Star website on March 20, 2023. Continue reading and do the outlining later on. Now all you have to do is complete this outline. Thank you for reaching this far. If you are interested with the PowerPoint presentation that I am using in this video lesson, join our growing channel now. For only 49 pesos, I will give you access to this material. Just click the join button and proceed with the payment process. Once again, this has been Teacher Jackie saying, discover, learn, have fun only at V Class TV. Bye!